What's the first thing I'm gonna say? Before I even say it, what's the first thing I'm gonna say? Yeah, what? The music's so much louder than the drums. That's the problem. That clap is like in the next room, right? Like I got no head nod on it. So you know what I'm saying? So first thing, like that's why I say I listen, but also sometimes it's good to look too. Because if I look and I just see my kick is right here and my clap is like way down here, I'm like, whoa, I was tripping. Sometimes things will distract us, and when there's multiple things playing, it's really easy for things to get masked. You know, like things sounds to mask other sounds. Cause see, look at how low that was in relationship to where that kick was hit. You know, and also too, I'll probably pick a different clap. That clap just isn't like it's so dark and.
All right, word.
Sounds like a clap that I didn't give you. No shade.
It was a clap.
No word. No way.
Yeah.
But you know what I would do? I'll go right here into the pre-computed effects, and I'll boost that motherfucker. But even then, you see how there's no top end on it?
Yeah.
Like even in the best drum kits, there's gonna be some duds. You know, so I kind of like as I'm scanning through, I'm like, ooh, that's cracking, that's cracking. Don't pick the one that don't even stand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me go to what's that shit called?
So really what I do sometimes, like I'll mute out the sample right now, just so I just hear how the drums are sounding. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that just as drums, like, cause to me that 808 just sounds a little bit too stock.
Too
well, it just sounds too stock. Like I'm not getting enough like growl on it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a sample, I kind of wanted to like either hit really clean. See how all those are jumping out the speaker? Like, I kind of want something like that to where when it hits, it's like wham. Gotta have the wham. Yeah. Anytime my ear kind of hears like something stock, like if it was gonna be a stock FL sound or stock anything, I'm like, nah, because there's always got to be like some bottom. See how that clap? Did you change that clap? See how that clap? The top end, it like makes the whole beat feel better. I'll cut up that 808 too. You got the fruity limiter on the 808, or is that?
It was to compress for the
Oh, okay.
The one that I had, it just wasn't, like you said, it was a stock.
Yeah, I'm like everybody reaching for the side chain for you to switch the sound. Now watch. See, take it off. And that's what I'm saying. Like I just take the extra time to get two sounds that are working well together. Because sometimes one could be the great sound and one other sound just working against it, or they're phase inverted. And so one is like literally when you look at the waveform, it's going up, and the other one's going down. And so when you stack them up, one of them was sounding cool. Then you stack, you're like, damn, what happened? That's when people start stacking 3/4 snares, 3/4 kicks. It's like, no, just look and make sure the waveform is first going up. So a lot of times I like literally when I kick an 808 and snare and clap, if I'm stacking any sounds, I'll literally look at the waveform and I'll say, is it going up or is it going down? You know? Because a lot of times, if one sound sounds good by itself and you put up another one with it, one of them is inverted, and so they're phase canceling. And so then it sounds like, what just happened? One of them sounded better than two of them. That don't make any sense, right? It should be like a lot louder with two things playing at the same time. So you see how that's clearly going up?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times you'll see it as upside down, so you got to go right here to reverse polarity.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
And so that's what prevents what you're talking about from happening.
Yeah, exactly. Think you got one thing pushing the speaker this way and the other thing hitting the exact same time, pulling away.
Right.
And so it's
They're
like,
fighting.
yeah, they cancel out. It's just like phase. So I'd even cut up the 808 a little bit more.
I think I'd be shy about my drums.
Yeah, no, let them shit ring out.
Like they're not.
And especially now knowing you just soft clipper into a fruity limiter. It's like, it's never going to be too loud. And so now that, and again too, what feels low now? The hi-hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll bring the hi-hat up now. Go back to the mixer real quick. You see what a big difference is that alone? And so sometimes, like, the reason why I muted the sample, it was distracting me. I couldn't focus on what the drums, because I'm like, this is the way you test things. If the drums sound good on their own, if you put the sample in and something don't sound right,
It's the same.
it's something in the sample. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's too much frequencies on the low end, too much on the high end. Maybe its phase is inverted and it's pulling back when all your stuff is pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? So I have to like isolate things and be like one at a time. That's why I was like kick up, change the clap, change the 808, bring up the hi-hat. All right, now the drums sound good. I know my drums are laced. So now when we fold back in the sample, because you added all this stuff after, the problem is, even if you cut out the low end, OTT, bringing it up, Fruity Limiter, push it all back up. So look, put another Pro Q at the end. So a lot of times when I'm doing a lot of processing, I put an EQ at the end. So it's brought in some stuff you don't need, like below 100, you know what I'm saying? See how that right there is like, wow, it's not muddy anymore. And so that's how we know that it was the sample. But we had to get the drums right before we figured that out, you know? And you see, even though we had the drums right, just we didn't have enough rolled off that sample. So it's like, it's still making them feel like, when we put it in, we both were like, so that's why, but we know it's the sample. Because without it, everything was right. So a lot of times when there's so much information going on, just solo certain things together. Drums is the easiest thing to go together. Like when I'm working on a mix and I get overwhelmed, I'm like, how does the bass sit with the vocal? How does the vocal sit with the kick? How does, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of go through each one, and I'm like, how do these two work? And if everything's starting to work together, when by the time I undo everything, I'm like, we're sounding pretty good, you know?
I'm gonna repick this because I wanted the drums to be harder. I was scared, dog. I was like, what if they're whack? You know, but to your point, sometimes it's not about the sequences. Like, if you're getting sound whack.
Yeah, and trust me, like, I go back through so many. I was thinking about doing like a YouTube series of this, of like fixing my old beats. Of like my programming was just too much going on, or I picked the wrong sounds. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's like we could have done everything to that clap. It was never gonna sound like just a better clap. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes it's like it's the easiest thing is just to be honest and be like, is this whack? You know what I'm saying? To be like, is this whack? And then you're listening, you're like, why is it so dark? Like the clap shouldn't be that dark. Like, let me just see. So a lot of times I'll just give myself an A/B option. Like even if I'm playing bass, you know, I may get somebody else to play bass, I'm like, is it me? And then if for whatever reason it's like, okay, maybe the song isn't calling for live bass. Maybe it needs a sub bass or you know what I'm saying, something else. But yeah. Always ask the question, just straight up, does this suck? Does the sound suck? Could it be a better sound?
Yeah.
And then the easiest thing is just to option them out.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is so helpful.
Come on now.
As always.
Hey,
man.
we're getting up in there.
We're gonna soar.
Hey, factual.
It's just
Factual.
that, yeah.